All right, let's talk about unit conversion. Frequently, you're presented with units in systems with units and meters, metric system, or SI units, and you need to convert to customary US units or the reverse. And I can't tell you how many times I've seen errors of this kind and or made errors myself. So learn how to do it right and be careful and do it carefully, and you won't fall into any of the common traps of unit conversion. So let's talk about that a little bit. First of all, there is a unit conversion um, table or chart in your textbook. Here are just a few of the most commonly used ones. You can also find in Google, if you just type convert 100 feet to meters, it will show you the result. That's a really great tool and can save you a lot of headaches. So you can use that, use your conversion factors. In this case, we have 3.785 liters equal to 1 gallon. 0.3048 meters equals 1 feet. And I've shown it in the reverse. So 1 meter equals 3.281 feet. Here's the mass conversion from 1 kilogram to 2.2046 pounds mass. And the 1 Newton, which is of course a force unit, is equivalent to 2.2046 pounds of force. That would be only on Earth, I guess. Not true if we were traveling to outer space, or even if you were high up in an airplane, for example, and you're some distance from the center, it would be a slight adjustment to that. 1.0132 times 10 to the 5th pascals, of course, that's a pressure unit, equals 1 atmosphere. Obviously, 1 atmosphere is what we experience on the surface of the Earth. All right, so how do we do unit conversions? It's kind of a system here you can follow through. Look up the conversion factor. Sometimes, if you have a chart, you may have a chart that has many of the sort of, I would call them compound conversions, like concentration units where you have a milligrams, you have a mass and a volume, does the conversions. You may have a conversion chart that does like meters cubed to gallons or something like that. But sometimes you won't have that. Like the conversion chart that I showed you, I didn't show you all of those conversions, but many of them, if you have some understanding of SI units, some understanding of US units, you can do those conversions as well. All right, so you look up the conversion factor, you write relationship as a product or quotient, check. And when you do that, you remember from our SI units discussion, when you do the conversions, check that the units cancel correctly, so you end up with the correct end units. Evaluate the term, check your answer, and then check your answer again and make sure it kind of makes sense to you. I'm just hesitating to think about that. Makes sense to you physically, intuitively, because you should have some sense. For most of these units, you have some sense of what a meter is, what a foot is, what a centimeter is. There's some you're probably going to get like you're not that familiar with, like Siemens for conductivity or joules. You may not have like a physical sense of what a joule is. All right, we're going to look at an example of converting. In this case, we're going to convert from 5 meters to the equivalent distance in feet. So what is 5 meters in feet? So we have two conversion factors that we can go with. We know, for example, that 1 meter equals 3.281 feet. We also know that 1 foot equals 0.3048 meters. All right. So we're going to use both of them, and the reason I'm showing you both of them is because it's frequently the case that your conversion chart may have one or the other and not both. And this just to help you kind of understand the concepts a little better. All right, so we have a distance. I'm going to say D equals 5 meters. Put that in parentheses. And now we'll use this first conversion factor, 3.281 feet per meter. All right, so I'm going to say times 3.281 feet per meter. All right, now let's look at the units and see if they will cancel out as I wish. Meters, meters, that works. So we're going to be left with feet, correct? All right, so let me go to the calculator and see what the product is. 3.281 times 5, 16.405, my calculator is telling me. Now I want to use the right number of significant digits. We'll talk a little bit about that more later in the term. I'm going to stick with 4 significant digits. So we end up with 16.41 feet. All right, so 5 meters equals 16.41 feet. Now let's just use the other conversion factor, the 0.3048 meters per foot. So in this case, we started off again the same way. D equals 5 meters. In this time, we're going to, remember we have meters and we want to go to feet. So to get them to cancel out correctly, we're going to have 1 over 0.3048. So what we're going to actually do is, I'll write it this way, which is to divide 0.3048 meters per foot. All right. And we do the calculation, and if it better work, let's see what we get. 5 divided by 0.3048. I just want to make sure if we get the same value. 16.404. There's a slight round off error. So I'll put down what I get. 16.40 feet. Okay, some slight round off error related to how we did the conversion. Not a problem. We'll talk about round off error and measurement and significant digits later. All right, so that shows how to use both of those conversion factors. Let's look at the next slide. All right, this time we're going to take on a little more difficult conversion because this time we're converting from compound units, kilograms per cubic meter, which might represent either a concentration or a density. And we're going to convert that to pounds mass per cubic feet. In other words, to US customary units. All right, so we need 2 conversion factors in this case. First one we're going to use is that we know that 1 meter equals 3.281 foot. Frequently you'll get conversion factors which would have already in, you can see we're looking for metric meters cubed, and I've only given you the conversion factor for meters. Now I can't keep that other one in my head. I can keep a certain select group in my head. This one I remember, 3.281 feet per meter, and I can easily turn that into meters cubed. But you may find a conversion factor table that has this already in volume units. So see where we're going. So I cube both sides. We're going to have 1 meter cubed equals 3.281 cubed feet cubed. And I'm going to use my calculator here, which also happens to be my phone. And I'm going to multiply 3.281. This is not a very good calculator. I don't think it has exponents. Wait, it does. Let's try this. Power of 3. It works. 35. So we're going to end up with 35.32 cubic feet per cubic meter. Okay, so that's our first unit conversion that we need. And the second one we need is between pounds mass and kilograms. And I'm going to look that up because I do not recall that one off the top of my head. 1 kilogram equals 2.2046 pound mass. All right, so those are our two conversion factors. All right, so let's presume we're dealing with a concentration. So I'm going to say C equals 5.0 kilograms per cubic meter. All right, so let's first convert the kilograms to pounds mass. So we're going to have 2.2046 pound mass per kilogram. So since it's per kilogram, we have kilogram in the numerator here, we're going to multiply it. So I'm going to say 2.2046 pound mass per kilogram. All right, now what about our next one? We have 35.32 cubic feet per cubic meter. So we're looking at per cubic meter, and you can see over here in our initial value, we have per cubic meter there. So we're going to divide this one. Okay, and you get some sense of how you know whether you divide or multiply these as you get more advanced with this. Cubic meters per meters cubed. All right. So that's what we're looking for. Let's see if everything cancels out correctly. So meters cubed is in denominator. It's in the denominator, in my denominator. And the kilograms is the denominator here and the numerator here. So we're left with pound mass per cubic feet. Perfect. All right. Let's go to our calculator and get a result. And we're going to end up with, oops, delete that. Oops. Oh no. Hold on. Let me get back to my calculator. I lost it. This is also my phone, of course. There we go. 5 times 2.2046 divided by 35.32 equals 0.312. And we'll talk more about how many significant digits you would keep, or how many digits you keep when you do a calculation like that. For now, because this one we started off with 5.0 kilograms per cubic meter, 2 significant digits. So we're going to stick with that. And I'm going to write here equals 0.31. That's correct. Pound mass per cubic feet. Excellent. Okay, so that is the result that we were looking at. That is the equivalent of 5 kilograms per cubic meter.